Cantona. That's his best. Eric Cantona is back. Normal service has been resumed.
One of the best and most controversial players is Eric Cantona. The French forward was always in the centre of attention for both his reactions and for his amazing skills. He is mostly remembered for his time in Manchester United, but he had also good moments with Auxerre, Marseille, Leeds United and the national team of France. Eric Cantona was born on the 24th of May of 1966 in Marseille. His first steps in football took place with the local club Cantona, where he stayed there until the age of 15. In 1981 he joined the academy of Auxerre, and in 1983 at the age of 17 he made his professional debut. In 1985 he was given on loan to Martigues, playing in the second division in order to get more first-team experience. In 1986 he returned to Auxerre, where he had an amazing season, helping his team to finish fourth and qualify for the UEFA Cup. His good form earned him his first cap with the national team at the age of 20 on a game against West Germany. Controversy would soon follow him as Cantona came into a fight with a teammate. Trouble would follow him during the next season as well, after a very dangerous tackle against a player of Nantes which resulted on a 2-month ban. He was also part of the under-21 national team which won the European Championship in 1988. In the summer of 1988 he joined Marseille, a club who he supported as a child. He struggled to settle in the club and his first months were not as expected. He had also verbally assaulted the French national coach Henri Michel on TV, which resulted on 1-year ban from the national team. In January of 1989 he was given on loan to Bordeaux and then on a season-long loan to Montpellier. More fights followed him at Montpellier with teammates, but inside the pitch he was amazing. At the end of the season he celebrated the French Cup, and this was enough for Marseille to call him back from a loan. The 1990-91 season started well for Cantona, but his bad relations with head coach Raymond Gauthier and the president of Marseille had affected his game. By that time he had also returned to the national team as Henri Michel was dismissed after failing to qualify for the 1990 World Cup. Marseille was crowned as champion at the end of the season, but Cantona was sold to Nîmes. His time at Nîmes started well, but in December of 1991 he threw the ball to the referee. He received a 1-month ban, and in February of 1992 he was transferred to Leeds United for £900,000. He would play 15 games until the end of the season, helping the team to win the championship, the first since 1974. He had formed a very good partnership with Lee Chapman, which was vital for the title campaign. At the end of the season he travelled with France and Sweden for the European Championship, but the campaign was a big failure as the tricolour were knocked out on the group stage. Next season started even better for Cantona as he scored a hat-trick on the Community Shield against Liverpool as Leeds won 4-3. Until November he played 13 games on the newly established Premier League and had scored 6 goals, including the first Premier League hat-trick against Tottenham. Manchester United was in desperate need of a good forward. Alex Ferguson had been at the club since 1986 but had only managed to win the FA Cup, the League Cup and the Cup Winners' Cup. On the 26th of November of 1992 Cantona was transferred to the Red Devils for £1.2 million. His transfer would be proved as a turning point on the history of Manchester United. The season had not started well for the team as they had fallen behind Aston Villa and Blackburn. The arrival of Eric Cantona changed the mood and the belief of the team though. He formed a formidable forward line with Mark Hughes and Ryan Giggs as the scoring levels of the team increased tremendously. At the end of the season Manchester United won the title, finishing 10 points ahead of Aston Villa. This was the first league title for the team since 1967. The next season was even more successful as he scored 18 Premier League goals and United won the title again. The Red Devils had also made it to the FA Cup final where they won Chelsea 4-0 with Cantona scoring twice from the penalty spot. The only bad point of the season was the fact that France surprisingly missed the ticket to the World Cup after losing 2-1 against Bulgaria at home. Eric Cantona was not involved in any controversies up to that point in England. He was even promoted as France captain by the new head coach Jacques. This would not last for long though. Manchester United had started the 1994-95 season very well and was looking comfortable to win the third consecutive Premier League title. Cantona had scored 12 goals until January and had also helped his team to qualify on the fourth round of the FA Cup. On the 25th of January the team travelled to Selhurst Park in order to face Crystal Palace. With the score at 1-1, Cantona was sent off on the 48th minute for kicking Palace's defender Richard Shaw. Heading to the dressing room he was verbally assaulted by the home fans and he reacted by kung fu kicking one of the fans. Manchester United fined him £20,000 and banned him for the rest of the season. The Football Association banned him for 8 months and fined him a further £10,000. He was also stripped off of the France's captaincy. At the end of the season United failed to win the title, losing important games which would probably be won if Cantona was on the side. If the last game against West Ham was successful then the Red Devils would have celebrated the title. They only managed a 1-1 draw and missed the title to Blackburn Rovers. United would also lose the FA Cup final against Everton. During the summer of 1995 Cantona was thinking of leaving England and return to France. Alex Ferguson however persuaded the player to stay. He returned to the football pitch in October but he needed time to readjust. United had surprisingly sold players like Hughes, Kanchelskis and Ince during the summer and would give more opportunities to youngsters like Paul Scholes, Nicky Butt, David Beckham, Gary Neville, and Phil Neville. By December however, Newcastle had built a 10-point difference from Manchester United and looked certain for its first title since 1927. A turn of form after January though, saw United fighting closely for the title. Cantona scored the winner against Newcastle in St James Park on the 4th of March and the gap closed dangerously. On the next game a draw against Queen's Park Rangers was enough to see the Red Devils overtaking Newcastle. The team remained first until the end of the season with the French forward scoring very important winners. This was his 5th league title during the last 6 years including those with Marseille and Leeds. On the 11th of May, Manchester United faced Liverpool for the FA Cup final. Cantona was given the captain's armband as Steve Bruce was injured. He scored the winner on the 86th minute as United completed the double. Despite having an amazing second half on that season, he was not called up for the European Championship. As Steve Bruce left the club, Cantona was promoted as captain of the team. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was transferred from Old on that season and formed a very strong partnership. They scored 29 goals between them as the Red Devils won the title again. The team would also reach the Champions League semi-final but lost against Borussia Dortmund. At the end of the season he surprisingly retired from football at the age of 30. After he retired he was involved with beach soccer where he was part of the national team of France, winning the European Championship in 2004 and the World Cup in 2005. He has also become an actor and he appears in several movies since 1998. Eric Cantona is one of the most iconic figures in football. His career could have been longer but he is always remembered as one of the best footballers worldwide. His controversies are also been remembered and are still a talking point between football fans. Who would you like to watch in the next episode? Don't forget to like our video and subscribe to our channel if you enjoy our work. Thanks for watching.